So now we are going to perform the salt analysis. So here comes the first salt. I am not going to tell you what salt is this. We will see, we will check, we will identify, and then we will get to know from which group the acid radical and the basic radical actually belongs and what they are actually. Okay. So first we have to start with a preliminary test. It's a basic test. First you have to check the appearance of this particular salt. As you can see, the salt is crystalline in nature. I can show you, it's something like the table salt that you are having, right? It's crystalline in nature. So first point in the preliminary test should be the nature of the salt, and then you can see it's white in color. Okay. Now if I smell it, there is no as such any kind of pungent smell or something like that. So you can tell that yes, it's odorless, white in color and crystalline in nature. And these particular salt will be soluble in the normal water, that you can check, or any crystalline salt they get soluble in normal cold water, that you can write directly as well. So please remember, your preliminary test will take 1 mark in this particular marking scheme. Okay. After that we will proceed with the identification test. In this case we will first try to identify the acid radical. So while identifying the acid radical, what we can do is we can take a test tube simply, and we can take a very small amount of this salt. So please make sure whatever the amount will be given by your external, that particular amount is fixed. You can't ask more, so don't spoil it. Okay. So just a little bit amount you take and add some dilute acid in it. You can add dilute sulfuric acid over here. So yes, I am doing it in bare hand. Please make sure that you are using 1 dropper. Okay. So I am just using dilute H2SO4 here. Here you can see there is no change as such, right? There is no change. So we can say that group 1 acid radical is absent over here, because we can't see any kind of effervescence here, right? So now we will proceed for the group 2 test. So what you have to do, you can just take again a small pinch of salt, and here you can directly add concentrated H2SO4. Be careful in this particular step, because you are using concentrated H2SO4. Just take it from the sand bath, and if any other instruction is told by your present lab attendees, please follow that. Okay. So here you can see, with the effervescence itself, some brown colored gas is coming. Focus on it. Some brown color gas is coming. Can you please tell me which gas is this? Yes, if you have guessed it, then you have guessed correctly. This is basically bromine gas that is coming out of it, right? Now let me do something. Here I am having one gas rod, right? So now this glass rod I will dip in ammonium hydroxide solution. This glass rod I will dip in ammonium hydroxide solution, and then I will put it on the mouth of this test tube. You can see, and the fume got denser, right? You can see the fume got denser over here at the mouth. You can see the fume got denser. So this is basically the formation of ammonium bromide. Okay. So definitely we identified this is the bromide radical, the acid radical, that is bromide, and it is a group 2 radical. So group identification will take 1 mark, and your radical identification will take another 1 mark. Yes, it's not yet done. What you have to do? You have to further proceed with the confirmatory test. So now we have to perform the confirmatory test for the bromide radical. So what you have to do? You have to again take a fresh test tube, just add a pinch of that salt, and make a solution out of it. So make a saturated solution of your salt. This is, you can say, it's a kind of wet test. The last one we did, it was a dry test. So here what we will put silver nitrate solution. And here you can see we are getting the pale white precipitation of silver bromide, right. So this particular test is the identification, or you can say it's a confirmatory test for the bromine itself. Okay. So that's it. Whenever you will end up with your confirmatory test, please mention, as we already did one video for your tips and tricks, please make sure that you are mentioning there that bromide radical is confirmed while you are writing the confirmatory test. So your basic radical part is over. Now we will proceed with the your acidic radical portion is done. So we will proceed with the basic radical. The basic radical we are going to start, we will start with the zero group. Okay. So here what we are going to take? We are going to take a little bit of salt, and here we are going to add dilute NaOH. So here we are going to add dilute sodium hydroxide. Just make a solution of it, and now I will call one of my students to smell this out. Come beta, smell it and tell me how it feels like.
Kind of burnt.
How is it smelling? Don't you get it in the washroom?
Yes.
Yes, no? So it's a smell of ammonia, right? So while you will just dissolve it in NaOH solution, then you will get the smell of ammonia. Okay, that will tell you, yes, zero group radical is present. So in zero group, what is the radical? The basic radical that is present in the zero group is NH4 plus ammonium ion, right? So for this case, we will test for the ammonia. So here in this particular solution itself, this is the confirmatory test. I will add the Nessler's reagent, that is the group reagent for it. And you will see some coffee brown precipitation out of it. And that is the confirmatory test for NH4 plus, my dear. So now you can tell that my particular salt contain Br minus as the acidic radical and NH4 plus as the basic radical. So I guess you understood the salt was basically NH4Br or ammonium bromide. Thank you so much. So here this is the second salt. For your another one salt I am showing you for the next experiment, that is your salt analysis. So definitely I am not going to tell you the name of this salt, we will identify and we will see what is the acid radical and what is the basic radical present in it. So first definitely you have to do the preliminary test. So what is a preliminary test? Look at the appearance of this particular salt. You can see this is also crystalline in nature, right? It's something like your table salt, right? So it's crystalline in nature, it's white in color and no characteristic smells at all. Okay, so this is your preliminary test, and one thing you can do, as it is a crystalline salt, you can tell directly that it is a soluble in cold water. Okay, so your preliminary test will carry 1 mark. So now what you have to do, you just have to take a pinch of this salt, okay, and you have to add dilute sulfuric acid for the acid radical. We just started at acid radical and this is the test for the group 1. Okay, so here you can see no effervescence is formed here. There is no effervescence. Okay, so the characteristics of that group 1 acid radical test is you should get brisk effervescence. So there is no effervescence, so you can directly tell that group 1 means carbonate is absent over here. Okay, let's proceed further. So next what we can do, we can proceed with the group 2. Okay, in group 2 make sure you are taking a dry test tube, and in this dry test tube I am putting a pinch of this salt and I am putting concentrated H2SO4. It's also known as the dry test So let's do it. You will see some brisk effervescence out there, and here if you put one rod dipped in ammonium hydroxide at the mouth of it, you will see some intense white fume out of it. You can see that is a characteristic observation for the Cl minus, means chloride. Okay. So definitely here you can see it is ammonium chloride fume that is formed over here. Okay. So this particular thing tells us that it is Cl minus as a basic radical, sorry, as an acid radical, it is present over here, that corresponds to group 2 acid radical. So let's proceed for the confirmatory test. For the confirmatory test, you can take another fresh test tube. Here you can just dissolve a pinch of salt and make sure you are making a saturated solution of it. So this is the saturated solution. So now what I am going to do, I am going to put some silver nitrate solution. Here you can see, once the silver nitrate is given out there, you will see the white precipitation of AgCl is formed, right. So these particular white precipitation of AgCl will tell you that yes, confirmed, your acid radical chloride is present out there. So this is all, I guess you understood the acid radical part. So chloride is now confirmed. Now we will proceed for the basic radical. So definitely in the same way, for the basic radical also we will start one by one from the group 0 itself. So what we did, remember in the last salt, we took salt in the test tube. What we did, we added some amount of NaOH. So once I am adding NaOH here, there is no characteristic ammonia smell, right. So definitely I can tell that group 0 is absent out there. Okay. So here let us proceed for the other group. So let me tell you one information, group 1 and group 2 radicals, they are really not given in your examination. It is not expected that those salts will be given for you. So we can directly proceed for the group 3 experiment. Okay. So here what we can do is, in the group 3 we check for the aluminium basically. We can just take the salt out there. Again we can put some dilute NaOH. And we can add some ammonium chloride over there. So if group 3 was present, we were about to expect a gelatinous white precipitation. But here I am not getting that type of gelatinous white precipitation. So I can tell that group 3 radicals are also absent over here. So let us proceed for the group 4. So in the group 4 what I am going to do, again just let me just take the salt, a little pinch of that salt. And here I am going to add H2S. At first just let's make the solution. Dissolve it completely. Then add H2S. So here also you can see no characteristic observation or precipitation we are not observing any kind of characteristic precipitation or smell or something like that, from where we can tell that group 4 is also present. So in group 4 usually zinc and manganese it gives a precipitation, but here there is no precipitation, rather some pale white colored solution is formed. So this is not the characteristics. So let's proceed for the group 5. So let's take again a pinch of the salt. Group 5 we actually do for the barium, strontium and calcium. So let's proceed for the group 5. Okay. So here also we are going to just pour some water. We will make a saturated solution. And the reagent for the group 5 is ammonium carbonate. So we will add ammonium carbonate, and if we see any kind of white precipitation is coming, then we can say group 5 radicals are present. Yes, you can see in the group 5 the characteristics observation that we are actually expecting that white precipitation we can get. Now there are 3 possibilities for this case. It can be barium, it can be strontium, it can be calcium. That I have to identify which basic radical actually it is. So what we will do? Again we will make it. So for the confirmation which basic radical is present over here, we will take the salt. At first we will start with the barium. If we don't get, we will proceed for the strontium and then calcium. Okay. We will make a saturated solution. And for barium, what we have to add? We have to add potassium chromate. So let's add it. If we see yellow colored precipitation of barium chromate is formed, we can tell that barium is present over here. So this is my potassium chromate. I am adding it. Yes, you can see the pale yellow precipitation of barium chromate is formed over here. So we can confirm now, yes, barium 2 plus is present over here. Further, barium 2 plus can be confirmed with the flame test, which will give you some apple green coloration of the flame. Okay, so here we are going to show you the confirmatory test for the barium 2 plus. So what you have to do, you have to take the H2SO4 and that paste of that particular salt that is given to you, and then you have to just put it at the tip of the glass rod. Okay. Now what you have to do, very faint green coloration will come. Your eyes must be powerful enough to just take that color. Maybe camera may not catch it, but I will show you. Here you can see the faint green color. I can see here. I don't know if the camera can see that. Is it visible? Okay, maybe the camera is unable to catch it, but I can see the faint green color. So you can also see that faint green color that will come and go again. So that will be the characteristics observation for the barium 2 plus confirmatory test. So this is the basic radical, that is barium 2 plus from the group 5 present over there. So what is the salt? I guess you understood. The acid radical present over here is Cl minus, that is from the group 2, and the basic radical present is Ba2 plus, that is from group 5. So your salt is none other than BaCl2. So here we came up with the next salt. So here you can see the appearance of the salt is a little different here. So it's not crystalline, it's amorphous. So as I told you, whenever I am having an amorphous type of salt, there is a possibility to having carbonate. So yes, we will definitely test for it. So definitely as a preliminary test, you can mention over there it's amorphous in nature and white in color, and definitely no characteristic smells coming out of it, and definitely it's not going to be soluble in normal cold water. Okay. So what I am going to do is, I am taking a pinch of salt. This is definitely for the acid radical, and then I will add the dilute sulfuric acid in it. and here you can see the effervescence that is coming out of it. The effervescence that is coming out of it, that is the characteristics of this particular group 1 acid radical, and that tells you about the presence of the carbonate. So I guess you understood. So that's enough. That's only the confirmatory for the carbonate itself. So in the first group itself you got your acid radical. Now let's proceed for the basic analysis, basic radical analysis. Okay, so for this particular case, whenever we are proceeding with the basic radical, the original solution should be prepared with respect to dilute H2SO4 because it will not be soluble in water. So let's just take a pinch of salt. Let's put some amount of dilute sulfuric acid. So you can see the brisk effervescence is coming. After that, the entire salt will be soluble in it. So this is how you should prepare your original solution for this type of salt. Now what you have to do? Now you can avoid with the zero group because ammonium carbonate is not in your syllabus. Okay, so you can just give it a try for the zinc, for the magnesium, for the calcium. So I will at first try for the magnesium. So let's proceed with the 6 group analysis. Now you can add a pinch of ammonium chloride over here. Make sure you are dissolving it well. Now you have to put a little bit of dilute ammonium hydroxide in it. And then finally you can proceed with the group reagent. So here you can see this is the characteristic white precipitation for the group 6, that is the magnesium 2 plus. Okay, so I guess you understood now. So definitely the basic radical, it is present over here, that is magnesium 2 plus, and it is coming out of the group 6, and the acid radical present over here, it's sulfate, that is coming out of group 3 from the acid radical. So definitely the salt is going to be magnesium sulfate. I guess it's clear to you. Thank you. So my students, as here we are having the next salt for the salt analysis. So here it is also an unknown salt. So here you can see, at first I will show you the appearance. So it is also crystalline in nature, white in color, and if you smell it, there is no characteristic smell as well. And as I told you, any crystalline salt, they are usually dissolved in cold water, right? So definitely in the preliminary test you have to mention all of them. So next what we do, definitely we have to proceed for the acid radical test group wise. So what we can do is, first we can take a pinch of salt and then we can add some dilute H2SO4 or any kind of dilute acid you can add to check if group 1 acid radical is present or not. So here you can see there is no as such brisk effervescence that I can observe or I can tell that yes, carbonate is present. So definitely we should proceed for the group 2 acid radical analysis. So yes, let's proceed. Here again I told you this is a dry test. We will take a dry test tube. Please be careful in this step. Your test tube must be dry because you are adding concentrated H2SO4 out there. So here I am taking a pinch of salt and then I am adding, this is concentrated H2SO4. Please handle it with care whenever you are holding your test tube. Please make sure that you are holding this with your holder, test tube holder. So I'm just adding a little bit amount of H2SO4 to see if any reaction or any characteristics observation I can observe. So here also you can see the observation that we actually expect for the chloride and bromide, nothing is there. No effervescence, no smell, no gas. So we can tell that yes, chloride bromide is also absent out there. So let's proceed for the group 3 acid radical test, that is for the sulfate. So again, let me just take a pinch of the salt in the test tube. I will directly add some dilute barium chloride solution out there. Yes. So here you can see, whenever I added the barium chloride, it made the precipitation of barium sulfate, right? It proves that yes, my group 3 acid radical, that is sulfate, is present out there. So acid radical from the group 3, it's identified. Let's proceed for the basic radical. Okay, so now let's proceed for the basic radical analysis. So we will start from the group 0. I guess you remember the analysis part that we did in the barium chloride video, or ammonium bromide also, how we should start from the group 0 and consequently you have to move towards the group 3 and other. So let's start by taking just a pinch of salt in your test tube, and here directly I will add sodium hydroxide. Yes, so now what we are expected, that we can have some ammonia like smell, but here I am not getting that type of characteristic smell. So yes, we can tell that group 0 basic radical is absent out there. Now instead of doing group 1 and group 2, because it is not there in your syllabus, we can directly proceed towards your group 3 analysis. So let's proceed further. So here you can see again one test tube. I'm just taking a pinch of salt. Okay, and I'm adding some ammonium hydroxide out there. This is my ammonium hydroxide. I'm adding some ammonium hydroxide out there. So now little bit dissolve it, and then you can add ammonium chloride. Again mix. So whenever you will mix all of them, you will see in this particular case one gelatinous white precipitation, it's formed out there, and that is the confirmation that aluminium 3 plus is present over here. Means group 3 ions are present, and we can confirm as well that aluminium 3 plus is present over here. So yes, now you have the proper clarification that what does this salt contain actually. This contains the acid radical group 3, that is the sulfate, and for the basic radical it contains group 3, that is also aluminium 3 plus. So definitely the salt is going to be aluminium sulfate. Thank you. So yes, here we have come up with the fourth salt for the salt analysis. So here just look at the appearance of the salt for your preliminary test. Here you can see this is white crystalline salt, right? It is color white and it's crystalline in nature, and if you see there is no characteristic smell of it, and you can tell that whenever it is a crystalline, I'm not showing you anyway, whenever I will make the solution of it, you can see that these will get dissolved in normal cold water. So that is your preliminary test. So let's proceed with the group identification one by one. So first, see, one thing just let me tell you once again here as well. So it's a crystalline salt, very rare chance to get carbonate out there. So you can definitely skip the group 1 in case you are getting the crystalline. So let's proceed for the group 2 and group 3. So here you can see I'm just taking a small pinch of it. Then I'm directly adding concentrated H2SO4. So as you can see, no characteristics observation is here, right? So definitely you can confirm chloride and bromide is absent. But there is another test for the nitrate. So we are going to do the test for the nitrate itself. So we are putting the pinch of salt in the test tube. So don't forget to hold it with your holder. Add concentrated H2SO4. And add a little bit of copper tannins. Now you just have to gently hit this thing. As you can see, the brown fume started to come out. I guess it's clearly visible. So you can say that yes, nitrate group is identified. So further we will proceed with the confirmatory test for the nitrate itself. Here again we will start with a little amount of salt in the test tube. We will make a saturated solution out of it. Make sure that it's homogeneous. And then put freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution into it. So you can see, like I already told you that for the nitrate we did the identification test with the copper tannins, right? And in the same, like for the confirmation purpose, what we did, we made the original solution and then we added ferrous sulfate. So once we added the ferrous sulfate, freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution, then what happened? We got some precipitation. Now I kept that particular thing aside to settle down. So now this is how it looks like. Okay, you can see all the precipitation is settled down and just above crystal clear solution is visible. Now this particular solution I will take in a different test tube for the brown ring test. Yes, that much is more than enough. Now what we will do, keeping this test tube inclined like this, please make sure you are holding this with a proper holder, because you have to add concentrated H2SO4 in this step, and you have to keep this test tube the way I am keeping it here, like inclined, and here you have to add the H2SO4 through the wall of the test tube very slowly. Keep your patience, take your own time and do the test. So let me do the same. Here you can see I am adding the H2SO4 along the wall of the test tube. Here in this step, please keep your patience. Don't do it in hurry. You will get your best ring ever. Yes. So yes, now you can see the gorgeous ring is formed out there. I guess you people can see it. So this particular ring will tell you, yes, nitrate group is confirmed out there. Nitrate group as an acid radical is confirmed out there. So we can proceed further for the basic analysis, basic radical analysis. I guess it's clear to you? Okay, so now we are going to proceed with the basic radical. So for this particular case, 0 group group 1, group 2, definitely you don't have to proceed further. I am not performing the zero group as well. So definitely whenever you will get this type of crystalline white salt, definitely for the basic radical you have to start from the zero group. For the barium, we started from the zero group, and I showed you that how if the characteristic observations are not coming, we can say that yes, this group is absent, this group is absent, like that. Okay, so for this thing also I can tell you that group 5 will be present over here. So I'm just keeping group 0, group 1, 2 anyway you don't have to perform. Group 3 is also absent here, group 4 is also absent here, group 5 is present out of here. Okay, so let's proceed with the group 5 test directly, so that without any time waste you can directly come up to the conclusion. So here I'm just putting a little bit of the salt. I'm just making a solution of it. So make sure you dissolve the entire amount of salt that you have put over there. Then you can add the group reagent, that is ammonium carbonate. So you can see, as I told you, group 5 is present over here. So now it has again 3 possibilities. It can be barium, it can be strontium, it can be calcium. So now we are going to proceed with the test if it is barium, strontium or calcium. That I am going to show you with the original solution of that particular salt. Now I have prepared the original solution for the given salt, and I will check if barium, strontium or calcium, if it is present here or not. In the first test tube, I will add some potassium chromate to check for the barium. So here you can see, this is not so-called precipitation that we actually observe for the barium 2+. Okay, so that particular coloration was something like kesher milk, the coloration that you got usually, that was the color for the barium, a proper precipitation. But it is actually not that type of precipitation, so you can't confirm barium out of it. Now we will add ammonium sulfate to check for the strontium. So let's see. Here you can see the proper white colored precipitation, you can see that is coming out of ammonium sulfate in the original salt solution. Okay, so that is the characteristic precipitation that we should observe for the strontium. So we can confirm out of it that strontium is present at the basic radical in this case. Okay. For the barium itself, what is the coloration? That actually you can see at the first salt that we did, there we did the barium as a basic radical. You can check the particular coloration of the salt over there. It will be clear to you. So I guess you understood this. Further we will proceed with the confirmatory test for the strontium in the flame test. Okay, so as we got strontium as a basic radical, we will do the confirmatory test further. So we will do the flame test for the strontium. So we will see persistent crimson red coloration of the flame will come up. So I will tell cameraman to focus on the flame so that you can understand the coloration well. So you can see this is the crimson red coloration of the flame. You can see this is what can confirm that strontium is present over here.